Hey, what's up, everybody? Um, crazy day for me. I threw that video on there. That's the person that's Tori Pater. He's in like several bands, but that's the person who sings my theme song. Um, I love that song, Going Out of Business. It kind of reminds me of what's going on some apps right now. Not going out of business, but just they're away right now, right? So tonight this will end a couple minutes before the top of the hour, and I will put a link in 5 minutes before the show ends to the Gig Economy podcast where I am the guest tonight. And that goes for about 45-50 minutes right after this. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific tonight, Mr. Ryan Welty, Mr. Tremaine Heyo Studios, Tony, the Driven Dad, and me and my son Max will be doing a live stream on cancel culture. I know it's not gig related, right? But so we've had a lot of and then we have one more of those. So Tremaine Welty and me we've done two already. This is the third. They've just been on random topics. This one's cancel culture tonight. And then we have one more scheduled for next month. And then we'll see what happens after that. They've been a lot of fun. Next month's is AI and the future of employment. So that one's gonna be fun. This one's gonna be fun tonight too. My son Max will be there too. If you guys have never met Max, he's awesome. And so the coolest part about tonight is we're gonna have five different generations of age speaking on this. So let's see who's in the chat and say hi. And then so this week I'll get into that in a second. Let me say hi to the chat first though. What's up, Derek? Hi, Scrabble. How are you? Ivanaska, how are you doing? Traveler, how are you, man? Good to see you. Carnifage, how are you doing? I saw my first long distance courier run. Oh, nice. I'm guessing since you said saw it, you didn't get it, but I'd be interested to know if you can put in the miles and dollar amount. I'd love to know because I know for a long time you weren't seeing anything. Now you've taken a couple and you're getting into it, and obviously Curry's starting to pick up a little bit, and you're doing the right thing. You've taken a couple, so good. What's up, Joe? And so there's a lot going on this evening. This is a jam-packed evening for me. It's like a perfect storm, and we've been dealing with a lot of Paris stuff. I did have this slated to be about winter with last mile courier apps, but that will be pushed to next week. Even though next week is the night before Thanksgiving, I'm going to pre-record a little something that is going to talk about last mile courier apps. And basically, I'm going to show you the courier app, like in the app store. And I'm just going to kind of, it's going to be a pre-Thanksgiving thing that it's going to be pre-recorded, probably be about 30 minutes just to hold this time slot. But it's also going to show you guys an assortment of options that you can look into in your area. Some might not be the best in mine, but they might be good in yours. So check it out. But today I was going to talk about some curry stuff. But I might even push that to roundtable tomorrow. It's been a lot of confusion, but something happened with ParaWorks. Now, yes, I am involved with ParaWorks. Pulse has been we never have issues with Para. So like a lot of times you guys are definitely familiar with the fact that Para is primarily an iPhone thing. I mean, not that you can't be on an Android and use it. You absolutely can. But Android apps, you just submit and they go live. There's not really a review. I mean, like I can give you an example. I used to have I used to have when I was doing rideshare, I was in the staging lot at the airport, and I met somebody who gave me a free tablet, and they had an app on the Android store. Okay. And this ran off that, and they just gave it to me. They had a 1-star rating. It was a lot of problems. It crashed all the time. That's the difference. Now, there are people like Gary Middleton who create apps that work out of the box, but there are a lot of people who put stuff up on Google Play that honestly doesn't even work. It will not work. Apple doesn't allow that. Apple has an actual human and and an AI, and they have so many different stages of people that look at it, but they actually have human eyes that look over this stuff. Normally, pair of things get pushed through very quickly because Pulse is what it is. I think it's held up a little bit longer because we've had to answer a couple questions, we've had to address a couple things, we've had to do things that we normally our programmers and engineering team don't have to do. Apple doesn't have these kind of questions usually. So, um, yeah, um, it's not. I mean, tonight it could be done. Tomorrow afternoon it could be done. As soon as I have the word, I will make a community post. I'll make a short. I'll make sure you guys know about it because it was supposed to launch late Monday, early Tuesday onto the store. We're now at Wednesday, and it's still there's no issue. They're just asking a few questions that our team is having to respond to, and I think we're through them all now. And now it's just a waiting game. One thing about Apple, you cannot push them at all. Like there's no way to expedite something. But normally with us, because our program is only you write in Apple code and then move that version over to Android, which is the easier way to do it. But because of that, normally they just push it through because our programmers write it exactly how they want it. So I think this was written exactly how they want it, but there's some features in Parapulse. But what I am going to talk about today is Paraworks, because this last mile courier isn't just last mile delivery. It's basically the last mile. This show is going to be a lot of courier stuff for sure, but it's going to be it also could be called Not the Giants. Basically, what I won't talk about on here, unless I'm doing comparisons, is I'm not going to, well, this isn't going to be a show, and it never has, about DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, Instacart, the Giants. I'm not going to talk about those on here. They don't belong. Um, things have been on a downslide for all of them. And yet, I know a lot of people are struggling out there because they rely on these as their main apps. But guess what, guys? All the other apps like Delivered, Paraworks, um, all these other littler apps or regional apps. There's regional rideshare companies that are doing well that were very much struggling before because guess what? It's not necessarily that the customers are gone or that the volume is gone. We're just hearing about the volume gone on their platforms. So at first it was like a scare. It was, it was a little bit of a scare. We know it will always turn around and DoorDash will be here forever. Pedro said this the other night on his program, and he's right. DoorDash ain't going anywhere. But there's going to be tons of modifications. And I think that a lot of people have gotten sick of these giants having all their hands into the cookie jar, and just, getting around all legislation. We all know legislation's coming next year. There was another sign of that just this week. Last week we had up in Canada, we had DoorDash send out a thing. If you watched the roundtable, but if you didn't, I'll just in a nutshell. In Canada now, they sent out everybody on DoorDash had to provide their IS or their BI. So a BI is the same as an EIN here. It's like a business identifier, and an EIN is what you have if you have an LLC, S corp kind of thing. That's your tax ID number for your business. Or here you can sometimes use a social security if you're sole proprietorship or whatever. But up there they have social income is what they call it, I think. And then they have business identifier, but they're the same as an SS and an EIN. So DoorDash sent out, you need to provide us this because starting in 2025, we need to be marking you as this, which is if you guys aren't already understanding what that means, it means that they're finally saying, you guys are independent contractors. We are going to stick and move to make these changes quickly. You are going to be responsible for everything. I don't know what that means up in Canada. I've been following what it means here, and I will continue to follow what it means here. If I can find somebody up in Canada who tracks that kind of stuff, I'll definitely sync up with him. And even in Europe, they're doing this kind of stuff. And I do have somebody over in Europe, Morad, who definitely tracks this stuff like I do, but only over there. So we'll be doing some coordinated projects. I'll be having Karen Anderson, Kim Cavan, Mike Harubi. We're going to be talking through January. like in December, but in January, we'll put out a lot of content about what is happening. So you guys, if you're watching this, you'll know. But they're basically in Canada, and now this week, Skip the Dishes, which is the Canadian version of Grubhub. Skip the Dishes did the exact same thing. Enter this now, or January 1st, you'll be deactivated. So what they're doing is they're literally moving to you are an independent contract. Now we all know that they've said that forever. We know we are, but I've always told you it doesn't feel like it. They never defined it. Well, they're defining it now. And they're defining it now here too. So stay tuned, because even in a couple weeks, we're going to start talking about this. I got Kim Cavan coming on, and hopefully, if the rule change as soon as it locks, we're going to do that second part to that roundtable with Mike Karubi, Karen Anderson, and Kim. But let's jump to why we're here today. ParaWorks. Let's get into a better frame of mind. So by the way, this is what's happening tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. All of us will be talking about cancel culture. And then on next week, I will be doing my 300th audio podcast. And my co-host will be Sergio Avedian. So we will be talking probably about some of this stuff as well there. And the last thing I want to hit on is that tomorrow on the Paragig Smarter channel, we will be talking to Joel Shapiro, the CEO of Dumpling. So come on over to Para. You can watch it here too. We double stream it and check that out. That happens at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. But now let's discuss some Para. So, what was it? So it was for yesterday. So Monday night, I get this offer. This is in the Para app, by the way, guys. This is ParaWorks. This is not ParaPass. They are two different things. We are merging them together to be the Para Personal Profile, P3. And everything will be in one. It will become less confusing, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And that's part of why there's so many updates happening behind the scenes on the Para app, if you've noticed. But this came through. I took out the addresses, FYI. But they're completely transparent. So the addresses show you where to, and you're going 9.3 miles for $30.50. It was if you saw the stream, but it was a catering bag, a regular hot food bag, a drink holder, and maybe one other bag. I don't know. But regardless, I took this because Perry used to only when Curry started here in Denver, they were only like in the south west where they were building at that time. So I was trying to grab everyone I could. However, just like a lot of you, when you get on Curry, it's tough to grab those ones. Same thing kind of happened with Para. It didn't start off like where I live in Denver, and Denver is a huge area. A lot of big cities are, but Denver's really, really big. Like I can get to Boulder, which is 35 miles away from me, quicker than I can get to southwest Denver. So, and I live in Denver, almost downtown. So I'm just kind of pointing it out. But yeah, so this was 9.3 miles this time of day, 11:02 a.m. It was a catering order. It was it's not my favorite pay, but I'm taking anything up in my area because I'm building my Para profile. And by the way, even though I've worked with Para since day one, I've worked with David since it was autonomy.jobs. The algorithm, and it's a good algorithm. If we have time, we'll get into that a little bit, but the algorithm does not distinguish me from any other drivers. So I am fighting for any Para offer that I get. Nothing gets thrown to me or anything like that's not happening. In fact, I've missed quite a few. So, but here's the thing. So this came through. And then I was driving 2 Curries. I was going to do that live, like I told you about, a Curry ride along like I do every week. Probably I'll do one Friday anyway. But I ended up doing ParaWorks yesterday, but I did 2 Curry deliveries first. There was a break in between them, and nothing filled that break. So I had a super early morning Curry, then I had a break, then another Curry, and then I had this. And where my second Curry dropped off was, the timing couldn't have been better, and it was scheduled, so I knew it the night before. I was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes from this location. So went there, did this. Now, right after that, well, for yeah, right after that, this came in for 11:30 to 11:45. So I took this. I knew it would be tight, um, but I also knew I could pull this off. So what I did was everything that happens on ParaWorks comes through with it. You'll get a text after, like right after you accept it. And so I said to them, I said, I have. They said you've taken this. Please confirm by saying yes, and I'll show you this in a minute. But so I said yes, and then they reply, and there's actually people. It's not a computer, and so I asked them. I said, I'm doing another one just prior to this. If I'm there at 11:40, it's still I can still get it by like 11:50 to where it's going 6/10 of a mile for $30. So they were like, oh, absolutely, it just has to be before noon. So they were very cool. So because otherwise I was going to have to contact the team and say that I need unassigned, and we'll go through that too. But so I got both. As you can see, this one is better than this one because this one's 9.3 for 30/50. This one is 6/10 of a mile for $30. But what you don't know about this, unless you live in Denver, is this is downtown. It's a little harder to maneuver. But the bar I ran was downtown, so I know like all the little spots to park for quick and whatnot, so for free. So I can kind of navigate this a little bit better. So, but after this came in, or so after I finished my second curry, I pulled up the Para app, pulled this up, saw that okay, I'm 10 minutes, or whatever. I was 20 something, maybe it was 20 something minutes before, and I was still on the curry. And I just wanted to at least say I'm on my way because I had picked up the curry. I was on my way towards where this pickup was. And I wanted to at least just hit start in case I forgot or something. I didn't want them reassigning it before I delivered the curry. So I tried to, and I'm bringing up an issue now that I've brought up with the team. They will be fixing this. So if you do use ParaWorks, um, this is an issue that I brought up with the team, and I actually spoke with the team now because I said, listen, like if you can see, I was 29 minutes out from when I needed to arrive. So had the curry delivery in the back of the car, and I was 29 minutes out from picking up the ParaWorks order. And all the timing was going to work out right, but I just wanted to. It said, see, if you saw, where does it say it? Oh, so if you click King Couriers, I guess I didn't get the screenshot, but if you click that, it says, click start when you're on your way to the delivery. Well, I was on my way because I was doing curry. So, and I was driving that way. So I did click OK. You can start your job within 10 minutes of start time. So I contacted the team. They are fixing it because what I told them was even if I'm 29 minutes out, if I'm 29 minutes away or not, or whatever, if I'm on my way and I'm clicking OK, at least set it to 30, but if there was a traffic jam or something and somebody realized it and they were being a good gig worker and at least wanted to let you know they're on their way, but it was a half hour delay and it was going to take 45 minutes, they should be able to do it 45 minutes out. So the team agreed. So if you've done these and you've seen this, because 10 minutes, that you have to do it within 10 minutes, a lot of people might be 20 minutes away when they're starting. Then what if you forget while you're driving to start it? So that will be fixed. So after I completed this order, this first one, now both these orders came from different places, by the way. And this is what I was pointing out the other night. I believe I dropped into Pedro's stream real quick, and Bud Soda was on there live, and he said, um, well, I know he got this from a video I put out, but he's like, well, there's like 20 or 25 catering apps. There's actually 20 or 29 that I know of in the US. About 17 of them can be active in Colorado, about 14 in Denver. So not all of them are going to be in your markets. But Pedro questioned him and said, but so tell me what they are. And he was like, well, I don't know. And so I just started typing some in, and I didn't even have my list on me. I was in the kitchen cooking and I was just off the cuff typing them in. But there's a ton of catering because here's part of the problem. DoorDash catering allows you to cancel. Here's the thing. I don't look, I understand I hate the acceptance rate. They're gonna get just doxxed in the new year by legislation for having that damn acceptance rate, I'm gonna tell you. I already know this from a bunch of states because it goes against everything independent contractorship. So, they're gonna get doxxed hard on that. There's even fines going into certain states about if they have certain over a certain amount of dashers on the platform at any given time, they will be fined X amount per dasher over. So they're going to be monitored too. Now, I don't know how good this will play out or whatnot, but it's trouble. And the thing is that I don't like about DoorDash, and you guys probably will disagree with me on this. I think there should be maybe it should just apply to just single orders, but there is no way they should let you unassign orders. Like you can have what is it, 10% unassigns on your last 100 DoorDashes? Okay, so if you do only catering, and I know there's probably not enough, but let's say you live in a market where you've done 1,000 DoorDashes and now you only do caterings, and the last 90 out of the last 100 have been caterings. You're telling me that out of those caterings, you can unassign 10 of them and still stay on the platform? Because a lot of platforms are doing like a one strike thing, a warning, like, hey, you unassigned this and you didn't do it with enough time. If you do it again, you'll be kicked off the platform. I'm going to show you something Para's doing. And again, it might be something you guys don't like. I love it because it's going to make Paraworks the top shelf of catering. It's going to make them better than all the rest. But you might need to like really digest this to understand it. But so after this, I got this. My delivery is complete. Money's on the way. And now I'll show you guys this. Which one do I want to show you first? Is it this one? Okay. So if the partner means whoever, if it's Easy Cater, if so like Easy Cater it's this gets weird, you guys. Easy Cater is another middleman to all the catering companies. So like I did a Paraworks gave me a job through Easy Cater that actually came from another company here that does catering in Colorado. Went to Easy Cater and they dispersed it. Now at Para, we're starting to work to get our own Easy Cater offers while we still bring in Easy Cater offers and food fetched and some of these other ones, but we're working on bringing in our own too, just like they do, but on more of a top shelf level. And here's why. So if first of all, if the partner cancels within 2 hours, and that could, there's no like they would never reassign it to somebody else or whatever, but if within 2 hours of a job they do, you get the full 100% payout. The other thing that Para is doing, this is what you guys might not like. The first part, cancellation terms. Less than 3 hours before job starts. If you cancel this job, your account will be restricted. You will be unassigned from all jobs and unable to accept new ones for 72 hours. That is more than fair because if it's within 3 hours, it leaves people scrambling. My point again against DoorDash. Why does DoorDash allow you to unassign catering orders? It's the dumbest thing in the world because if you allow that, then I know of people, you guys all probably do too, that have unassigned orders. And during that mess up, let's say you unassigned it 20 minutes before. I've even had people tell me, dude, I got there, I picked up the food, and the order was canceled because somebody else didn't show up. Then I was assigned to it. And then the people didn't even want or whatever. How pissed would you be if you were ordering a big catering meal through DoorDash and they're like, sorry, the driver didn't show up? I mean, if I'm the person doing the catering event, I'm going to be livid. I'm never using DoorDash again. I'm deleting the app. I'm pissed. So, driver, you can cancel up to 3 hours before. So, if 4 hours before you realize, hey, I can't do this, cancel it. Cancel it and say you can't do it. It like it says, it may affect future job opportunities, and that's okay. What I think that really means is you'll be flagged in Para that you canceled one. If you keep doing it, could lead to bad things. But here's the thing that no other app does yet. No other app does this. Even Curry doesn't do this. You will be blocked from Paraworks if you no show. I love that. I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it. I love it because there's a thing called responsibility. If you're taking orders and you just decide, I don't want to do it, or I've got a better offer, or whatever, you should be kicked off the platform. These are higher paying gigs, and you should be. Um, go do the dollar base pays on DoorDash if you just want to cancel catering orders, or don't even sign up. And I'm supposed to be telling you guys to sign up, but I would tell you only sign up if you're going to be responsible about it. And I'd tell you that for delivered and stuff too, because I've got to know those guys, that team, and they're not going to be tolerating this crap either. This is why there's so many catering companies popping up, because primarily DoorDash is just DoorDash doesn't belong in the catering space. They don't. The LOP, whatever, they just don't. They're doing it, but they're not. Catering is a different thing. It needs to be specialized in. So, with that said, I want to show you guys just a couple things about Para before I show you some text messages that happened and what happened from those. So this is the Para more tab. If you look at the bottom there, you see home, you see works, you see drive. Drive is where you connect all your accounts and all that. Pass is only available in the cities it's in. Like I'm in a pass city. If you are in a pass city and you're already approved, it will look like this. Welcome to Para Pass, Para Profile. It'll tell you that you've already, your profile documents have been approved. So I'm already on there. I can onboard to anything that we start working with and all that kind of other perks. But we won't get into Pass today. But what I did want to show you on this is, if you haven't seen it before, and I see some other people in here. What's up, Josh? What's up? I saw Zach in here at one point. So here's the thing, guys. Zach has some good stuff on this. He has some good videos and on this flagging feature for Paris. So go check out his channel if you want to learn about flagging, if you don't know about it, because flagging is a absolute lifesaver. It's awesome. It literally, it's kind of like auto accept and decline is on here too, on the Para app too, but it's even better than that, because it just if you don't want to go somewhere, it'll make sure that you don't go there. It doesn't have to do with a restaurant. It's about the location of the deliveries. So, you can make it about anything. You can flag whatever you want, but so after I finished the first one, and then I finished the second one through 2 different companies. Now I've done a handful of ParaWorks. I can say this: I have done 5 ParaWorks in about the past 10 days. Prior to that, I had only done about 7, and I mean the rest of this year. So in the past 10 days, I've done 5, and that doesn't mean just lately I've been grabbing them. I'm seeing 4 to 7, or last week I did. I don't even know what this week. This week I've already seen 4 or 5, and it's Wednesday. Last week I saw like 7. If I go a month back, I was lucky to see 2, 3 in a week. That's how things grow, especially I'm talking about my area. Other ParaWorks orders I might see down south, but I don't count those because I'm not going to grab them. But up in my area now, they're starting to be shown because they're picking up new clients. This is how things work. Businesses grow. So when I finished the first one, which again was through a different company, but came through EasyCater and then went through Para, I got this text. Hello, thank you for accepting a delivery with King Courier Service. That's the catering service here in Colorado. So they're saying with King Courier Service through ParaWorks. So literally, King Courier this is, I know it's a little confusing. This is King Courier Service through it to EasyCater, but EasyCater just offloaded it to Para. So they don't even mention them. So through ParaWorks, we will ask you to please confirm that you are able to fulfill this delivery by replying yes. Do it in the next 10 minutes. If we do not receive a confirmation, we may have to unassign the delivery from your ParaWorks job queue. We, King Courier Services, KCS, are the company directly responsible for the delivery, and you can communicate directly with us here. Any questions with us for any questions and issues about the delivery? I said, yes, I'm accepting it, right? So they said, great, here's a quick video. It was in Canva. If you guys haven't used Canva, Canva's amazing. It was a 2-minute animated video. And, a lot of times you might think, I'm not going to watch that. I watched it. It was super helpful. It wasn't about EasyCater or Para. It was what KCS wanted out of their catering. And it was what I would have done anyway, but it was just nice to see it. So you don't have to watch it, but I'm telling you guys it's worth it. So then I got, you have accepted this. This delivery will be completed through Para. Bring your catering bags. Did all that. Now, so drop off instructions. Ask for Christy Vaughn. Deliver this to the front desk. Order item count 2. Now, this, I think most of you guys are familiar with the way that works. Order item count 2 could be 2 catering meals. So, like I said, it was a lot of bags. It wasn't like just 2 lunches, but it wasn't too much overload either. But if everything goes smoothly, smoothly with this, we can send you more orders using our Cartwheel app. Minimum driver pay is $27 on all catering orders, that regardless of distance. Now, thank you for completing an order with us. Would you like to join our app so we can assign you orders directly in the future? Absolutely. Hi, Stephen. We need to get you set up with your payment system. They use Every. Did that. Took about 5 minutes. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Copy. Great. And they said, can you please take this order? Now, when they said that, I had already downloaded the Cartwheel app. Like, so Cartwheel, I downloaded the Cartwheel app. They have to send you a password. So Cartwheel needs you to, Cartwheel's a provider, and you guys can go find the app. But what needs to happen is you need to complete a catering order through a Para, through a Delivered, through an Easy Cater kind of thing. You need to complete one. They need to see that. It's like your digital resume. So once they see that you've completed one, they're like, oh, okay. So they're like, you know, do you want to take more orders? I said, yeah. I downloaded the app. There were 2 orders available, but I had another curry. So, but there were 2 orders I would have done on the Cartwheel app. Now, I saw one come up and I was already going to be home for the evening. And I was like, wait a minute. I would have totally done that, you know, but I was home a couple hours prior. I had some things going on. I was getting ready for all this stuff tonight. And so I saw this and I couldn't take it. So it was $30.50 for 3.37 miles. I know exactly where this is. The pickup is about under 10 minutes from my house, which even made it harder because it came in enough time in advance, but I really did have other things already in the thing. But I had seen, since they had onboarded me 4 hours prior to this, I had already seen 2 other offers too, catering offers. Then I saw it and I was like, no. And then they did this. Hey, can you take this order, please? And so it below it again was a link to this order. So I clicked the link, it took me back to this. And that's where I said, I'm sorry tonight, I can't, guys. But so now I know. I mean, now today I was watching, I turned it off because it was bouncing a lot of things. So, but I turned it back on today. I saw another 5-6 catering orders. Again, I had a very busy day today. I couldn't do it. So I'm definitely gonna be using it. So I got my credentials down and that happened. So awesome. And all that happened from 2 deliveries where I made better money than I would on DoorDash. It's a more professional level. Para's stepping up. We're working on the partnerships for Pass left and right. We're going to blow your minds here in a couple weeks, you guys. Para 2024 is going to be the biggest year for Para ever. You guys are not going to believe the things that David and I have been talking about. But then again, Pass. If you can sign up for Pass, if you guys aren't on Para, you know, of course, am I plugging it? Yes. Do I get referral money? Am I giving you a link? No. I do. I've worked with David and Para since the first day they started. I worked with David at when it was autonomy.jobs, and David and I did some work together during the pandemic that was completely random aside from gig work, and it was really strange and odd how we met and all this. But that's a different story for a different time. But so I'm on Parapass. It's in my city. Check. But you guys download Para for sure. If you used to have it for tip transparency, look, tip transparency is not the future. Okay, because our focus for our engineering team is so based on bigger, better things than trying to figure out DoorDash's API and see what kind of trouble we can get in with them. It's not worth it anymore. You know, I mean, most of you guys can figure out what the tip is on your own. And it's not like back in the days when the unicorn tips were coming through and it was like, whoa. So you can kind of, most of the drivers I know, even the live streaming ones or whatever, I watch, and even in the chats I watch, and people just know. Somebody will say, "Hey, should I take this?" And everybody's like, "No," and they're all on the same page. They all know there's no tip, or there's going to be a tip, or yeah, take that. So why spend our time on that when we have huge projects in the works? That said, I'm going to jump over to the chat. I do want you guys to check out Para. I don't always just say it that bluntly, but guys, there is so much coming up. I'm doing my mileage tracking, and it has export for tax documentations. We have timestamp coming in. Timestamp will be proof for Legal Rideshare, who Bryant at Legal Rideshare is a friend of mine. Abdul at Display Ride can send footage right to Legal Rideshare. Para is now going to be able to send screenshots directly to Legal Rideshare. If you were to be deactivated, somebody said the food didn't show up or whatever, it would have a Para timestamp. So it's not just off your phone saying you dropped, because we know about the trick that some people were doing about dropping it, then taking a picture, picking it back up, and walking away. I don't know how often that happened, but it seems like a lot more sketchiness is happening the more DoorDash keeps cutting pay. So if you did do it right and you were to be just thrown in with some of the people who are doing things wrong on DoorDash, you're most likely to be deactivated. Well, here's the problem. Or here's the solution, is that Para now, we're going to let you guys on all these apps take some photos. And then and we're going to have a direct link to Legal Rideshare through me that we're going to make in Para app. You'll just be able to send it like, "Oh, they said I didn't deliver this." And then again, I'm going to point out the same thing I did when we were talking about Display Ride. Legal Rideshare is great. They don't want to get involved in every deactivation thing in the world. But if they're ones like this that are going to be timestamped and things and are going to be legit, they will send a letter on your behalf. And oddly, a letter from a legal firm usually gets you reactivated within a day. I know that a lot of us, I know people who thought they'd never be deactivated, like we did one with Nova and my friend Mac out in Portland, and they thought they'd never be deactivated or reactivated, and they got both of them got reactivated. But it took, Nova took a while, and my friend Mac took like 6 weeks. If he had had a timestamp for that issue, he could have been reactivated within tops 3 days. So watch for these features, but there's mileage tracking. There's that. There's hooking up your accounts. There is, if you're interested in the DoorDash beta program, you can email David at withpara.com. There is only a select number of people that can do this. So that's why I say it on this show to you guys. But then we have Works, we have Pass, we have flagging. There's just so much that can be, so there's even jobs being produced in there. And now the Para personal profile, the P3, that was originally the Para personal dispatch, is going to be your profile. You'll be, and David and I might even get into that a little bit tomorrow night when we have Joel on the show. But there's just so much to it. So let's get into the chat for the time we got left before I got to jump over to this other podcast where I'm guesting tonight. And I'll put the link in there, you guys. So just hang tight. So, okay, let me see. Where did I leave off here? Okay, well, I'll start with SAG. So, okay, so I had asked Carnifage. So 1,000. So you put 17. Oh, that's not okay. I was looking at that weird. So you put this, but so you're saying 1,000 miles for 1,777? I would have done that all day. Did you not want it? Did you not get it? Or did you get it? I don't know what happened, but I don't know. If you're asking me, I don't think you are, because you're a pretty smart guy, or you're a pretty smart person. But I gotta say that, I think you should have taken this one, unless you had other obligations, and I get that too, that you couldn't do 1,000 miles each way. But I would take this all day. What's up, Zach? How you doing? What's up, Josh? Yeah, exactly. Most, but like I said, communicate, because it's not DoorDash, you guys. If you're on delivered, I haven't done enough delivereds to truly know exactly how good they are about response times, but I've talked to the team. They seem to work like ours. So if the app EasyCater, or the one ordering the food through EasyCater, or whatever app is coming through on Para, isn't responding, I didn't show it on here because you shouldn't know it unless you're on an active, but there is a chat button in the Para app as well as a button to push that says the phone number, so you can do it on another phone too, but you can just push it and through the app it calls them. And that lets them know you're active and it lets you talk to somebody real right away. Yeah, Zifty is another one. Zifty, I think, does some other things too. They might do grocery and stuff like that too. I have not got on Zifty yet. I'm going to be honest with you. I know all about Zifty, but I don't know if they're even in our market. I believe Tony told me they were, so I will be checking that out. 10 to 20, depending on your market. Don't know what that's referring to. Probably something I said, I don't know. The problem with the catering orders on DoorDash, most of the drivers that get them are sloppy. I already haven't even read the rest of the sentence, and I already know for a fact from talking with Delivered and Deliver That and other CEOs and higher ups at companies doing delivery apps. This is why they all launched, guys, because DoorDash is failing. They're not. I've been saying this. They're like, and again, I'm gonna give Pedro the kudos on this one because he said it. DoorDash is gonna be around. It's not going anywhere. It's just going downhill. It'll be around it'll be around like Uber. It's not going anywhere, but it's getting dated. And I'll tell you what, for catering orders, like food delivery is a different thing. But for catering orders, people don't want unreliable service. They don't want sloppy service. And, nothing against how people relax in their free time, but they don't want, like, I won't use any of the caterings, for example, but I will use Curry because Alice has told me this specifically. Curry has directly let people go because they pick up an order on a B2B. So they go to a warehouse, they get a delivery order, and they sit in that parking lot and smoke pot. You guys, look, we all have our different lifestyles. I'm not judging anybody, but if you really think that's a good idea to sit in the parking lot where you're being videotaped and smoke weed, doing a top shelf delivery courier service, I mean, Alice has said one instance you get deactivated, and she's had people say to her, well, no, I didn't. And so she doesn't have to do this at all. She can just say, it doesn't matter, you're deactivated. But if anybody does question her and say, no, I didn't, she's told me she's had like almost 20 that have debated her. She doesn't even debate them. She sends them the videotape. So you guys, I mean, we live in a world where everything's videotaped. If you guys are shocked by that, I don't know why. Let me finish the end of Josh's comment here. They have no pride in their job, and that's because the Dashers, it's the Dashers that have high AR. I guess, again, guys, like I'm not on that page with you guys. I've done maybe 300-400 dashes, and it mainly was during testing for tip transparency when TT was around on Para. So and then once they started doing acceptance rating, being an independent contractor way before these apps even existed, I knew it was illegal. And so I'm like, this app is just sketchy as all hell. But I mean, I do know that everybody I talk to who multi-apps, or almost everybody that multi-apps, how many apps are you on? 5, 10, 15, whatever they're on. What is the app you hate the most? DoorDash. What is the app you use the most? DoorDash. It's a weird thing, but that is the answer I hear all the time. I'm on 15 apps. I use 7 of them a lot, the other 8 very occasionally. Okay, well, what's the app you like the most? Such and such. What's the app you like the least? DoorDash. Which one do you use the most? DoorDash. That, I'm telling you, it's so common of an answer. 80% completion in most markets still, which is 20 out of 100. Oh, is that Diamond? See, that's another thing, Top Dasher, Diamond, Dasher, Prancer, Vixen. Stop it. Stop having levels. You guys we're independent contractors, and the Barella test, the ABC test, the ABC Plus test, and the IRS independent contractor guide all state that that acceptance rate cannot be a factor. when using independent contractorships. These guys are gonna get slammed for employment laws. I mean, they've been breaking them. They've been warned for years, and now next year is the legislation year. Guess what, guys? Like, I mean, they've also caused problems for other apps because they do have the market share here in the United States, and they've constantly just pulled an Uber and said, "Man, nah, we're probably not going to do what you're asking us to do." And people in the states and other legislators say, "Hey, we're not asking you, we're telling you." And they're like, "Yeah, we're still probably not going to do it." Okay, well, let's look at 2024 when all the good apps will be booming and catering orders. I mean, I can't say for sure. I'm sure they'll still have their hand in the game, but I guarantee you guys, look, by March of next year, let's talk about how many catering orders are on DoorDash. Because my guess is, or one thought I even have is they might even dump it because they're being dogged by the catering apps who saw DoorDash just failing in the catering space. And they were like, wait, we actually know how to cater, and this is a different type of service. This is white glove service and it pays better. No. And so they're going to be getting all the orders. I mean, at Para, we're taking orders from DoorDash directly. We're taking them right out of their pockets. People are contacting me and David and saying, hey, like, and when we have those discussions and we go deep into it, we find out, oh, like, oh, you've been with DoorDash. Yeah, but we're not even going to send them any orders anymore. We're done. So it's not a pleasant thing. And it's not like, yeah, we'll try you guys out, but we primarily use DoorDash. It's more like we just need to get out of DoorDash. We do not want them in our restaurants doing catering anymore. Um, let's see. They're resetting everyone's completion to 100%. You know what? That's really weird because I heard that in June. And then I heard that again I think it was about a month ago that it was going to happen. Mine never got reset. I don't know what the hell. I know some people in the June or July that I'm talking about were like, "Oh," I asked them, I'm like, "Mine didn't get reset when they had an actual date." And I do know some people who said mine got reset. Mine didn't. And mine still to this day hasn't. I don't know if I'm supposed to do something. I don't really use DoorDash enough to care, but I probably should. I mean, I might as well take advantage of it. But I guess my completion isn't the thing. Like I'm a low ball dasher. My AR is under 10%. I don't think I've ever been above 15, except for like the first time I turned it on. So, but I also don't do it much. So, are they finally see? Okay, there you go. So I think even Scrabble is alluding to what I just said. Like they said this before, they just never did it. So I don't know that they're doing it. Hardcore. Yeah, Scrabble. I just saw the email tonight. Okay, fair. Things happen though. I agree. It's fair. Are we talking about the resetting of the? Oh, you guys This might have been back in time to when I was saying that one. I get it. I get it. You're talking about the para thing. I stand by it wholeheartedly. Here I am staring, guys. I stand by it wholeheartedly. I think one no show and you should be done with the platform. Now, I talked to David, and when I talked to David, I said, but let's have for instance, if somebody's family member went into the hospital, or if you popped a tire or something, I know we can't just take people's words for it, but if there can be proof, would they still be deactivated? And he said, absolutely not. He said, if you can produce a legitimate reason that's real, but if you're just not showing and you're acting like you do on other apps and you don't care, we don't want you. And to be honest, I'm going to say something here again about Curry, guys. Alice at Curry told me, she said, yeah, keep sending drivers over because we're moving the waiting list is moving. We're getting new clients. She's like, but do me one favor, Steve. Try and get people at least to multi-app. We don't want any more just Door Dashers. She goes, they are the worst drivers out there, and we've had to let a lot go. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how she knows that. I know they have all kinds of they talk to people and whatnot, and they see what's up, and so they're but from whatever their research has been, they don't want any more DoorDash only drivers. Because they only want top shelf drivers. And I'm not saying that if you do DoorDash, you're not. I know a lot of you guys rock DoorDash and you're top shelf drivers. But the overall majority, it's too easy to unassign in these levels. And it's so over bogged down an AI run that who cares? Um, yeah, whole I wholeheartedly agree with Josh here. Too many fake excuses. Yep, 100%. Nope, especially for catering, that's more than fair. 100%. Yep. Hey now, Steve. Don't be talking about my Chipotles or my Chipotles from me. What? Oh, taking my you know what? Okay. I'll make sure you get all Chipotles. I did see a pair of work order that sucked. We are working on that, guys. That's a different conversation. So join the para conversation for that one because we've seen that in a few markets. Minneapolis, it's happened to in a couple times, and I haven't heard of Vegas, but that's the first one. We are having a new threshold, but it probably won't go into effect till January 1st when a lot of things will. Now, a lot of things are going to launch in December for para, but that might not. 15 for 12 miles. Um, Behind in chat. Let me see, guys. I'm running out of time here because I got to go over to this other thing. Deliver that. Support is fast. Okay, great. I know those guys. I've just started talking with them, and I know the whole team over at Delivered. Zifty has a chat through the app, and it's very speedy too. Great. I mean, like one thing about these, as long as they can maintain it as they grow too, because everybody can start off great. Delivered is a great response time. Yep. I could not do it. Okay. That was probably for the curry he's talking about. I have only received one deliver order in the past month. It was last minute order. I could not accept. Okay. Smoke weed at home at night. Nothing wrong with doing it, but come on. 100% agree. I don't care if you have drinks. I don't care if you smoke weed. But guys, I mean, this isn't these apps aren't an excuse to do it all day. I mean, do it. You guys, look, you're gonna anyway. Do what you want. I treat business very responsibly. But if I want to relax when I get home, sure. I mean, I make beer. I have videos up on my channel of me making beer. I've been making beer for, almost 20 years. The app I hate is Spark. Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to hate Spark. What up, Jonathan K? How you doing, bro? DD would be useless. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be their decision if they get rid of it. 12-6. Hey, Holly, I'm about to move over to the other thing. In fact, I really got to bounce here. Let's see if there's Rick. Yes, 100%. Every detail you need is up front. And then I'll end with travelers. It's a job. Okay, guys, I'm going to post something in here. And if you could do me, wait, where'd it go? Oh, no. Oh boy, hold on one second. I got to pull this up because I told him I would. So I am. Come on, let's go. Where is it? Oh, here. Okay, I got it. I had put it in the private chat, but I don't know why it didn't show up. So let me get this. Okay, guys, in about 4 minutes, I will be on this podcast. So come on over there, check it out. I don't even know what we're going to talk about. I've been on with these guys before. These are my Michigan homies. I love these guys. But come on over here, check these guys out. Let's see what we talk about. What's up, Red? Speedy Gonzalez? Haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? So there you go. I will pin it. Oh wait, I can't pin it there. I will pin it to the top. There you go. And I'm going to end this now, and I will see you over there. And if not, I will see you at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific tonight. Cancel culture. Don't miss it, you guys. It's going to be interesting. But right now, you can just go over to that link I just put in, and you can see my beautiful face here again in just a second. So love you guys, and see you in a few. All right. Everybody have a good day. I hope you're doing well. Next week we will dive into some curry stuff for sure. And yeah. That said, be safe, earn smart. We'll see you. Peace, guys.